Whoever established the high road and how high it should be fired. Keep calm and carry a wand. Have you ever noticed that anybody driving slower than you is an idiot, and anyone going faster than you is a maniac? If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. I like my money where I can see it, hanging in my closet. The suspense is terrible. I hope it'll last. Why do they call it rush hour when nothing moves? Don't be so humble. You're not that great. If you can't be kind, at least be vague. There is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. In real life, I assure you, there is no such thing as algebra. Instant gratification takes too long. Accept who you are, unless you're a serial killer. Whoever said that money can't buy happiness simply didn't know where to go shopping. So be wise, because the world needs more wisdom. And if you cannot be wise, pretend to be someone who is wise, and then just behave like they would. I'm not good at the advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment? I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just going to ask where they're going and hook up with them later. I'd love to stand here and talk with you, but I'm not going to. All you need is love. But a little chocolate now and then doesn't hurt. People say that money is not the key to happiness, but I always figured if you have enough money, you can have a key made. I'm not offended by blonde jokes because I know I'm not dumb, and I also know that I'm not blonde. It is useless to try to hold a person to anything he says while he's madly in love, drunk, or running for office. I remember it like it was yesterday. Of course, I don't really remember yesterday all that well. The trouble with having an open mind, of course, is that people will insist on coming along and trying to put things in it. To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people. I've known sheep that could outwit you. I've worn dresses with higher IQs. Those people who think they know everything are a great annoyance to those of us who do. The reason I talk to myself is because I'm the only one whose answers I accept. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. Here's something to think about. How come you never see a headline like "Psychic wins lottery"? I walk around like everything's fine, but deep down, inside my shoe, my sock is sliding off. I haven't spoken to my wife in years. I didn't want to interrupt her. I used to sell furniture for a living. The trouble was, it was my own. There's nothing wrong with you that an expensive operation can't prolong. Someone asked me, if I were stranded on a desert island, what book would I bring? How to build a boat? Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. There is no sunrise so beautiful that it is worth waking me up to see it. You know you've reached middle age when you're cautioned to slow down by your doctor instead of by the police. Truth hurts. Maybe not as much as jumping on a bicycle with a seat missing, but it hurts. My mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. I never feel more alone than when I'm trying to put sunscreen on my back. Marriage is like an unfunny, tense version of Everybody Loves Raymond. But it doesn't last 22 minutes. It lasts forever. Being a mom means never buying the right amount of produce. Either everyone suddenly loves grapes and a week's worth are eaten in one afternoon, or fruit flies are congregating around my rotting bananas. I'm not insane. My mother had me tested. There are only 3 ages for women in Hollywood: babe, district attorney, and driving Miss Daisy, bride or groom. It should be perfectly obvious I'm neither. Describe your perfect date. That's a tough one. I'd have to say April 25th, because it's not too hot and not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. I saw a study that said speaking in front of a crowd is considered the #1 fear of the average person. #2 was death. This means, to the average person, if you have to be at a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy. There's just two things keeping me from dancing in that show: your feet. Common sense is like deodorant. The people who need it most never use it. How's a beer sound, Norm? I don't know, I usually finish before they get a word in. If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised. There's nothing simpler than avoiding people you don't like. Avoiding one's friends, that's the real test. The only thing that separates us from the animals is our ability to accessorize. I'm at a place in my life when errands are starting to count as going out. A good rule to remember for life is that when it comes to plastic surgery and sushi, never be attracted by a bargain.